Well, hello everyone. It's Wednesday. Yay. We are 10 days away from my first fall market. And the 10-day forecast is looking pretty good for that Friday. But a lot of things could change between now and then. So, yeah. Right now, it's just saying partly cloudy. A high of 89 with a low of 70, which would be wonderful, but it's not going to happen. So we're just going to keep monitoring that. So the last few days, really, when I say I haven't made much, I mean I haven't made much. Yesterday, I spent my day pricing. Oh, what a job. I will never do this again. I am going to have my price stickers put on things before I put them away in the totes, because what a major task that is. Just unbelievable. So I was doing the pricing and I was practicing kind of like a layout. What I did is I took my wire cube shelving and I went 3 wide and did it like a step going up, with the front of it being a wire panel so that I could stand plushies up against it and then still have space in front of it for baskets of things. So I was doing that and I found myself gravitating towards newer items, and I need to make myself have a mix, some of the older things, some of the newer things. And it's hard because the new stuff is like, oh, this is my new favorite. But the other stuff needs to go out there too. So while I was doing that, I decided, let me take a little time out. I need to run to Walmart. Need to get some kitty litter and a couple of other things, and then I ended up spending like $169. But I bought some new racks. This is the packaging from it. Now, I didn't put the wheels on it, and what I liked about these versus the shoe racks that I have, which I haven't been using, so they'll probably disappear, is these are baskets. So if the wind is blowing, the plushies aren't going to fly anywhere. So I bought 2 of these. I was going to get 3. And I just told myself, nope, we'll start with 2, see what happens with that. And then if I need more, I can always go back and pick up another 1 or 2, whatever. Well, I put together the 2. I put some plushies in it, you know, the little small stuff. I gotta make some price tags, like this basket is, say, $12, or this basket is $5 or whatever. Make up some little signs, or hit Dollar Tree and get some of their little clip-on, they're small little clip-on chalkboards. Maybe. I think if I use those, it'll be easier for people to see into the baskets. But I am happy with how that looked. So, we're out here in the dining room, and we haven't been out here in a while. But that's because I have everything spread out all over the place. In my room, in the living room, everything is spread out. So while we're out here, we could end up with a little kitty earthquake or something. You just never know. It's a very good possibility. So, when I was picking through the stuff to decide what I'm going to take and what I'm not going to take this time, I made up some mystery bags. So this is just 2 small $5 items in the bag. But these bags, it was funny. So I went to Dollar General. I think it was Sunday. The day doesn't really matter. But I went to Dollar General and I happened to walk down their gift bag aisle and they had these bags in a 10-pack and it had $1, like it was clearance, $1. So I picked up a couple of packages of them. When I got to the register though, they rang up at 3 something. And I wouldn't have noticed if the lady wouldn't have said, "Did you really want brown bags?" And then it caught my attention. So I looked and I'm like, "Aren't those $1?" And she says, "No." And I said, "Well, the tag where they're on your display says they're $1. So she trotted off and took a peek and came back and she said, "You're right, somebody put them in the wrong spot," which is fine. I mean, I worked in retail, it happens. But she gave them both packages to me for $1. So I put together 9 of these. Some of them are good selling $5 items and some of them are not so good selling $5 items. I mixed them up. Nobody will get 2 slow movers. They might get a good one and a slow mover, or they might get 2 good ones. I just mixed them up just for the heck of it. Because I've been wanting to try mystery bags, and since I have 6, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 markets, but I count it as 6 because the one with Sue is 2 days. So between now and the end of the year, so far, who knows? I might pick up something else depending on how things go. And then of course I have that one that I've been really trying hard to get into that's in January. So there's that. Okay, so what did I get to make? Not a whole heck of a lot. And I need to run off and get one item that I forgot to bring out here. Okay, so I went to get that. And Toby, because I have my stuff spread out all over the place, got a hold of my little price tags that have the strings on them, and they were spread out all over the place. So I had to pick that up real quick. I don't want him to eat the strings. Okay, so I started off, I believe it was Sunday, making some more Chonkymon. And there's only 2 more, just 2, left in the whole series that she has out so far. But by the time I get to those 2, who knows? She might be coming out with more. I have no idea. But these are by Knotty, Knot, K-N-O-T-T-Y, Nat, Naughty Nat, and they're really cute. They're kind of a play off of Pokemon. She calls them Chonkymon, and I don't know, I just like them. So the first one is a fire lizard. And this was fun to try and brush out. But if it was a Pokemon, it would be Charmander. So, and again, most of these are 10 rounds and they are really quick. So I got my Premier Basics order in for the colors that I was lacking. They don't have all the colors I needed available in that line, but there were colors that I could get close enough. So, Charmander. And I think this one just might be my favorite so far. This is Fruity Cutie. And Kitty Earthquake. I was afraid of that being out here. Fruity Cutie. And I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. but if it was a Pokemon, it would be Boons Sweet, Bounsweet. But I like this one. I think this one's my favorite. Now she said that the color should be fuchsia. They didn't have a fuchsia. So I ordered their darkest pink and this, I do not remember the name of the color, violet, I think. And I think this one came out to the closest for that requirement of fuchsia. So, Fruity Cutie. I think that one's my favorite so far. Then we had the Snoring Sleepyhead, which would be Snorlax if it was a Pokemon. And this one called for teal and tan. So I'm close. It's not really a tan, but it's close. And then we have Shadow Ghost. Now this one I think would be my second favorite of these. So it called for purple, but this is eggplant, close enough to purple. And he's Shadow Ghost, which would be Gengar in Pokemon. And I don't know, I like him. The little red around the eyes just like sets it off. So this one was fairly easy to do as well. And one more. This one is the Seed Dino. Now this one took a little bit longer because there was a little bit more to do, but it does not stand up. This one topples backwards. It's very back heavy. So I would probably take off a round of this part and not stuff it. But he topples over backwards. And this one, I think I used a Bernat Baby because it called for a light teal, and the Premier Basics Brights, Chenille Brights doesn't have a light teal. So that was Bernat Baby. So I did those 5, and like I said, there's 2 more. One of them is a Psychic Duck, and the other one looks like an egg of some kind. I'm not sure of the name. And then I'll have the full set of what she has out for patterns. And they're all free on Instagram. Okay. So that was like Sunday. Oh, yes. Let's see, today's Wednesday. So that was what I kind of played with on Sunday. I don't call that being very productive since they're little 10 round critters. But, you know, sometimes you just get in one of those slow-mo moods. Like, you don't really get a whole lot done. So, later Sunday night, I started on another color for the scrunchies. And this one is the Juicy Couture Tint of Mint. So I used up that skein because we're going to use them up so that we don't have to have a place to put the skeins of yarn. So Tint of Mint. We finished that up. Then on Monday, I was like making buttons. Yeah, that's another thing too. I had to make buttons on Sunday. So I did some of the orders, like the bigger ones that I had to do manually instead of being able to use my machine. I got those out of the way on Sunday. Monday, I finished up the few orders that were still left, and I made 2 loaf cats. This one is not Bernat Baby. This one was rough because it's like a stiffer Bernat, but I have so little of it left. I'm gonna use them up in loaf cats, but I need to pace myself with that, otherwise it'll kill my hands. So we did this one, and then this one, which is a thinner remnants of a Bernat. It's not quite as stiff and rough as this, but it still wasn't the most pleasant to work with. So we did these 2. I forgot to put a butt on that one. Okay, so I gotta set that one aside. He needs a little booty. So after I did those, I was like, I really need to make something fun. So I told you I joined Madeline Mako's Patreon as a super fan, and she has several patterns on there. A lot of them are character patterns, which I know some people frown on. I don't plan on making a whole lot because I don't want to get in any trouble over it, but I had to do Jack. So this is my Jack. He is done in Parfait Chunky and acrylic for the tie, I guess that is. So when I showed Jenna, she says his suit is pinstripes going vertically, and I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. I'll never get a straight line unless I embroidered on some stripes, which I could do, but then that's like a lot more time, which would make the price go up. And like I said, I don't want to bring them home. When I take them out of the house, I would like some of them to find their forever homes. I don't want to bring everything back home with me. So we have Jack. So the last one in this series, because she had Oogie, she had Zero, she has Jack, will be Sally. I'm going to try to get one made before next Friday. I should be able to. Maybe. The dress is discouraging me from doing it, honestly. So we did Jack on Monday with the 2 loaf cats. And then yesterday, like I said, I was working on pricing. And when I finally settled down for the day and was actually getting to watch some TV, left things still spread out, but a little more organized than all spread out. I did another color of the scrunchies with the Juicy Couture. So I used up this skein, and this one is Electric Violet. This is a pretty color. Well, they're all pretty. So I have these, and I have to put the little tags on them. Oh, and that was the other thing when I was practicing my, messing with the wire cubes, because I wanted to take and have one side, which would be like facing the front as people would come into the booth. And of course, all this depends on what they give me, if I'm on a corner or if I'm in a row. I don't know yet. Probably at the beginning of next week I'll find out, maybe, or it might be when I get there. I don't know. It all depends, but I wanted the one side to be solid to be able to use as a grid wall. So I tested out my little clips, and it looks good like that. So I'm happy with that. So I have to put the tags on these so that they can hang up. And by then, I should have a representation of each color that I have, because these don't take long. It's 20 minutes, so let's call it an hour and a half to get 4 scrunchies done. And that's, you know, take into consideration distractions and all that. So that's what I made last night. Not much for a Tuesday. So this morning, before I got on here, in order to scratch the itch, I made a couple more loaf cats just so that I could say that I made something on Wednesday, because I still got to go back and work on more pricing. Like, I don't know. Oh, and those bags, those storage bags, I think they're called, luggage bags, they really do hold a lot. Like, I emptied 2.5 totes. One of them was one of the big gray totes, and I've only used a bag and a half. They do hold a lot. So like, I didn't, I'm not going to take every dragon with me at one time. So I picked out 2 of the nicer dragons. Anchor's going to go. Things that I know for sure that sell well will go. The scrunchies, the bandanas, the mystery bags, we'll see how they go. And then these mini loaf cats, the ones that I did out of the Parfait Chunky that are really small, those are going to be cat in a box. But these are the 2 that I made this morning. And this was, I bought more yarn. When I went to Walmart, I had to go past the yarn aisle in order to get to the pet section. So I took a detour and walked down the yarn aisle, and they had just a couple, because they have cut this store down to less than half an aisle for yarn. But they had a couple of things of Bernat Baby that felt soft, and this color was one of the 2. So I think it's good for the cats and the loaf cats and the loaf dogs. Now, I don't know if it'll come out as big as the other loaf dogs that I did out of the Bernat and the Big Twist plush. I don't know. But if nothing else, it'll make great cats, because these are all pretty much coming out close to the same size, you know, to where it's not like a super noticeable size difference. So this one is definitely a little bigger because it's not Bernat Baby. Just a little, not too horribly bad, to the point where I feel like I could put them at the same price point and be fine with that, and not have people like, oh, this one's bigger, how come this one costs the same as that bigger one? I just want to use up these scraps and get them out of here. And I think that the loaf cats are a good choice for that. And I really do like this form of nose and mouth versus the X. So I did that. And then I'm going to go and work on more pricing. So, but I do want to pick up one more of those racks. And I think one more would be perfect. Doesn't have to be small items in it. It could be, you know, medium-sized that you have multiples of. But I like the fact that it's baskets. And if it gets windy out, the stuff's not going to fly. It'll be contained in the baskets. And that was another kitty earthquake. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. I am going to go edit this, get it uploaded, and then do some more pricing so that I can clear my living room back up again and straighten up my other room and get it all put back away so that I can walk through. You know how it goes. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.